Hey everyone, this is TG from ToyGander.com, and today we're going to open up and review a whole bunch of Sith Lord minifigures. So let's go ahead and take a gander. I want to give a special shout out to Hayden Robbles. Hayden, you were the winner of the last contest, so thumbs up to you. And guys, if you're interested in getting a shout out from Toy Gander, just upload a video to YouTube giving a shout out to Toy Gander, send me a link to it, and then I will give a shout out to you in the next video I do. Now onto the figures. Alright, we're going to start this one off with Count Dooku. This is the animated Clone Wars Count Dooku, and he's got a very simple Lego-esque look. It's honestly great printing on the front here. He's got a nice silver printing on the front torso. There is no back printing. It is one of the thinner paper capes, but it does fit very nicely in here. The shining piece to this whole minifigure here, though, is clearly the lightsaber. I absolutely love the chrome lightsaber. There's a few of them out there that actually don't include this chrome piece, the hilt or the handle. And this one honestly looks fantastic. I really do enjoy it. This is the movie version of Count Dooku. Now these aren't official Lego, so there are going to be a few hiccups here and there. Looking at the front torso on this one, there's a chain that runs from this shoulder to this shoulder, and it's supposed to represent what connects his cape. And it's a lot smaller on here, however, compared to this one. However, this one looks a lot blurrier than this one. I do appreciate this one a lot better than this one. So that's one thing that's a little bit noticeable on this. I do like the fact that he has two face printings on this, front and the back. This one just looks a little bit more menacing, and honestly it's a great print. It looks great, and again, one of my favorite pieces on here is the chrome lightsaber. Next up is Darth Maul. Even though that this is not an official Lego, this is pretty close to what the original one looked like. And this is actually one of the first ones that Lego produced for Darth Maul. And I really am not a big fan of this face. If you look at his head, he's got this teeny tiny eyes and mouth, and then he's got this giant noggin. I'm just not a fan of that. One thing that does help to just make it look a little bit better is if you take these horns off and you actually put one of these hoods over it. It just kind of makes it look just a little bit more realistic and just a better figure overall. He does have some back printing on here. Not much, but there is a little bit there. We have another Darth Maul. Now this is the Darth Maul that he was cut in half, and now he has robot legs. So this is an improvement over the original Darth Maul. I do like the printing on his torso. The printing's fantastic on his torso. He's got some nice side printing right here, nice side printing right here. The face is actually looks a lot better and a little bit more proportionate to what he actually is. It's actually a different horn piece too. It looks a little bit more realistic on that. He's got decent back printing. The figure sits a little bit taller than I would like, and I think that's because there's a gap right in between here. He's included with a black lightsaber. I have no idea why. I think that might have been a mistake. Now, one thing that I did, actually I had an extra figurehead from Ninjago, and I made this one. And if you want to see the difference in the face, it doesn't quite look exactly like Darth Maul, but I think it's a huge improvement. It just fits more within the Lego theme. Tell me what you think in the comments on between these two. Do you like this one, or do you like this one? So this next character is actually Darth Revan, and I didn't have him unpackaged. I've had this character for a long time. It's one of my original figures, and I absolutely love him. If you look at his printing in the whole complete character, it looks fantastic. You look at the back, he doesn't have any printing there, but the cape covers it, so it doesn't matter. But just a fantastic character. He's a very cool, interesting backstory in the expanded universe of Star Wars, so be sure to check that out. He has like a Boba Fett Mandalorian helmet, and there's a kind of story behind that, but very cool character. I definitely recommend looking into him. Alright, we have Darth Sidious. This is Darth Sidious after Mace Windu messed him up. Now this was made by a different company, and I could tell because of the way the pieces fit together and the cape. The cape is like really thick. It feels like it's almost made out of leather. That's how thick it is. It's not really that bendable, and it's kind of good that it's actually a decent quality. However, with that being said, the joints don't fit very well at all. And if you look at his hands, like my thumbs are about to bleed just trying to put his hands within his arms. They're very stiff. And the torso fitting into the legs is extremely loose. Now I had some characters from Dargo, I think it was, that felt very similar to this, and I think that might be who made this one. The printing though does look decent. The printing on the torso, it lines right up with the legs here, and the printing on the actual face looks pretty decent too. And I don't think, although I'm probably not gonna be able to get that out. Yeah. I don't think there's a printing on the back of his head either, but this is probably my least favorite of the characters so far, and he does include these lightning things. Actually, I just noticed this too. If you look at the base, this is the first time I've actually seen the base with the pegs that go all the way to the back, so that's how I can really tell that it's made by a different company. An oldie but goodie, Darth Vader. The original Darth Vader. This character is actually done very well. If you look at the front, the printing looks all very good on the front. Same thing with all the other characters, there's no back printing. The cape feels nice, feels like the standard LEGO cape there. His lightsabers, typical of all the other lightsabers, but one thing that's different and unique about this character, he has this extra piece. Now, there's this little like mouth guard piece that sits on the very bottom, and it sits snugly so you don't have to worry about it falling off, but that actually makes it so you can just leave the helmet off. And that's one thing that's a little bit different about this Darth Vader versus all the other ones that they've made. He's got some great face printing here. It's got a great look, looks exactly like you would expect it from the LEGO, the actual Star Wars movie, and it even has some back printing on his head. So I thought that was interesting, because normally you wouldn't expect on a character like this to see anything on the back, but they did it. So that really goes to show that you're supposed to actually show the character like this versus with the helmet on like this. The helmet fits in nicely. It fits more like a hat than an actual helmet, and you can see a little bit of white in the corners if you actually look hard enough, but it doesn't detract at all from the actual overall figure. Next up is Kylo Ren. This Kylo Ren is done very well, and they give you a few options which I really like. They include a helmet that fits over the entire head here, and they also include this piece right here, which is actually a helmet within the helmet. That way you can include this hood, which also does come with the figure, right on top, so you can give it more of a low profile look. But they both look amazing. It's done very well, nice printing. They even has some printing on the back, which is unusual, but a fantastic character. The only thing that I have as an issue with this one is if you look at the lightsaber is a bit orange, and I'd have to go back to check to see what the original Lego one looks like, but the lightsaber is a little bit orange compared to all the other ones. So that's my only concern, but other than that, this character looks fantastic, and I might actually keep this one on there. So I believe this character's name used to be Sith Warrior, but they changed it to Darth Maul. So let's go ahead and open him up. I really am digging the look. He kind of has like a Terminator-like look on his face. If you look at it, he looks just like T2. And it just got a great printing to it, great character design. The one thing that I'll say that is a little bit off is printing on the torso is fine, but if you look at the printing on the legs, it seems like it just stops there and leads off into nothing. And I was like, okay, well, let me look into the original Lego and see how that looks. And if you look at the original Lego, the same thing happened. It just kind of stops right there. You know, as far as a knockoff version of this looks really, really good. He was supposed to include 2 lightsabers, however, I think I lost the other handle to it. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to try and search for it now, but character looks fantastic, and out of all of them, maybe like he might be a tie for Darth Revan and Darth Maul. These guys both look really good. Another very interesting character, Darth Malgus. Wow, talk about an intimidating stare. Just a fantastic detail there. Look at his eyes. They just look really intimidating. He's got this really fine detailed, they use like a lighter or in a darker gray just to make some fine details in there. It looks really nice on there. He's got a real giant scar on the right side there. It looks really good. Top part here, this armor looks very reminiscent of the same figure that I reviewed not too long ago, the Apocalypse figure in X-Men that I reviewed. It just fits right within it, and if I take this off and you place this back down on there, it just seamlessly goes along with this character, and there's a lot of fine detail on there. Just absolutely fantastic with the amount of detail on the front of this piece. Although, well, they do have two tones right here, which does look pretty nice. His cape is a little bit different, and I think that's because the shoulder piece has to sit onto it. So his cape is not like the traditional one that goes over the shoulders. The cape is just like a one piece, so it fits nicely behind this. But one other thing that I didn't mention in any of the other figures, I do notice this bubble. These bubbles are a little bit more noticeable in these knockoffs than they are with actual Lego. I see them in Lego, but I've seen, I think just about every one of these does have at least one bubble within there. I will put a link in the description, toygander.com. Go ahead and check it out if you're interested in any of these characters. Next up, General Grievous. So I'm going to start off by saying I really enjoy General Grievous. Before the movie came out, I was like really excited about him. With that being said, I don't think this figure translates well into a minifigure form, and it's because he's just so detailed and so intricate that it's very hard to replicate that into a minifigure. His arms just kind of sit within there. The form looks okay, and I think it was okay. They did an okay job on the execution of this. There's a lot going on here, and if you look at it, it looks pretty detailed for a minifigure. There's a lot of different complex components that like connect together. However, it just doesn't seem right. If you're gonna buy General Grievous for Lego, you got to get the one that actually you build up and he's like, I don't know, maybe 10 inches tall. That one looks fantastic. I really want to do a review on that one. He's got this doofy look on his face right here, but definitely not my favorite. Last but certainly not least, Darth Nihilus. So if you don't know anything about Darth Nihilus, I would encourage you to read up on his backstory. He's essentially like this energy form that's within this suit. He doesn't have a physical form here. The character is pretty simple and straightforward. It's done and executed very nicely, very vibrant, and the white paint on the black character here is done very vibrantly, so I'm surprised to see that. The mask really sticks out, it's nice and vibrant, even the reds within there really pop. So I really do like this character. Again, the execution on this, fantastic. These are all the Darth Sith put together. It was a fantastic set, and I was really excited to do this one. Alright guys, so there is a lot going on here. There is one character somewhere on the screen that is just not quite right. So the first person to find out which character that is and puts it in the comments below, I will give you a special shout out in the next video I do. So guys, that's what we have for today. I want to thank you so much for clicking that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, you can help us take a gander.